Hello guys, it's WezTZK, and today I want to ask you, what is your favourite zombies map? I bet you instantly think of a Treyarch map like Origins or Drac. Non-Treyarch games like World War II Zombies or Infinite Warfare Zombies don't really come to mind immediately, do they? But why is that? Are the maps too boring? Are they just not as interesting? Or is it something else? And if you compare the player count on each game, Treyarch Zombies, especially Black Ops 3, always has a higher number of players. Black Ops 3's average player count is in the thousands. Although not as high as when it first came out, it is still quite sustainable. Whereas if you look at Infinite Warfare's player count, it can barely get over 500 players. And Advanced Warfare, yeah, it gets even worse. It can barely reach 100 people. World War II on the other hand though, it does quite well. Like Infinite Warfare, it gets a few hundred people, but nothing as close as Black Ops 3. But why? One main reason why I think that Black Ops 3 and other Treyarch games have higher player counts is because of custom zombies. As we all know, Black Ops 3 is known for its custom zombies. It's supported in multiple Treyarch games. You can even get custom zombies on World at War. You can get some custom zombie maps on like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 Plutonium version. However, for non-Treyarch, there is no custom zombies options, which means you're only stuck with the actual base maps. Not to mention with the Treyarch version as well, the players can actually build their own maps using the tools provided by Treyarch, which means you're never really going to run out of custom maps. There's always going to be something new on the Steam Workshop which you can play, and this is good because when players get bored of the standard maps, which I know they will do because they would have played it to death, they can at least go to the custom zombies and have a lot of fun. And there's loads of custom zombies maps like Simpsons Zombies, Lego Zombies, Minecraft Zombies. There's a ton of stuff you can check out, whereas non-Treyarch, they don't have this feature, which means, yeah, it gets boring very fast. Once you've done all the maps, all the Easter eggs, there's nothing really else to do. Custom maps aren't really supported. There is probably a way you can get them, but it's not as easy as Treyarch, where it's actually built in the game on the Steam page. Another reason why I feel like the non-Treyarch games have been forgotten is because of the cast and characters. As you know, in Treyarch we had the Ether story, we've had the same characters throughout, from World at War to Black Ops 4. The Treyarch crew have a more diverse range of characters. They also have more personality and are more relatable, which is why people love them so much. Whereas if you look at the non-Treyarch cast, they are kind of forgettable and some of them are kind of annoying, but you can say the same thing about some Treyarch Zombies characters. Some of them can be a little bit annoying, but not too annoying, whereas the non-Treyarch ones can be. Most of them are forgettable because not very many people play non-Treyarch zombies. Another thing as well, with the non-Treyarch zombies games, you don't stick to one crew. For example, in World War II Zombies you have a completely different crew. In Infinite Warfare Zombies, again, you have a different crew, and in Advanced Warfare it's the same thing. Whereas with Treyarch, you stick with the same crew, the Ether crew and the Victus crew throughout the entire game, from World at War to Black Ops 4. And I think this is the reason why people prefer Treyarch Zombies a lot more, because the characters are more relatable, you feel more attached to them, whereas with the non-Treyarch titles, they're very forgettable, and they're just not really that interesting. And the third point I want to make as well is memorable maps. For me, Treyarch has more memorable maps like Origins, Mob of the Dead, Drac. These are regarded as like some of the best zombies maps. Whereas with non-Treyarch games like World War II and Advanced Warfare, you don't really have that. There's not really a map that springs to mind when you think of a really good non-Treyarch map. I'd say the closest for me is Zombies in Spaceland from Infinite Warfare, but even that's a little bit basic and it has some flaws. So there's nothing really that gets close to Mob of the Dead or Origins to make it really good. So most of the maps in the non-Treyarch titles are very forgettable. You don't really find yourself going back to them, unlike Origins and Mob of the Dead, where you want to play it, you want to do all the Easter eggs, you want to know how to do everything. And another thing as well, the non-Treyarch games have sort of copied the Treyarch games. Like you notice in World War II Zombies and Infinite Warfare Zombies, you got Pack-a-Punch, perks, basically do near enough the exact same thing as the Treyarch games. And Treyarch Zombies, which has started in 2008, is obviously the original creator. And non-Treyarch games didn't start until about 2014, so of course they did sort of copy from Treyarch. But then again, you can argue that it won't really be the Zombies mode without it, so they do need that. And this brings me on to my fourth and final point, the nostalgia and memorable moments. Treyarch Zombies has been around since 2008, like I said before, so many people's first Zombies game would be Treyarch. And my first game was Black Ops 2 Zombies, and a little bit of Black Ops 1 as well. So of course I started out on COD Zombies, the Treyarch games, and many people have as well. So of course they would like the Treyarch titles a lot better, just because it's what they know. And also Treyarch Zombies like World at War, Black Ops 1, they started the Ether story, which is basically like the foundation for Zombies, like the whole story. Whereas I feel like with the non-Treyarch titles, they sort of copied off that, like made their own little universe, like based around it. Like they took inspiration from Treyarch Zombies and just made their own like little mini story. To be fair, it wasn't very interesting, it didn't really go across many games. Whereas Treyarch's story goes from World at War to Black Ops 4, and has a lot of maps in it. And like I mentioned before, the non-Treyarch games didn't start releasing until 2014, so of course people will like the Treyarch maps a lot more because it's what they grew up with, it's what they're familiar with. So in conclusion, the main reason for non-Treyarch games not being as successful as the Treyarch games is mainly down to custom zombies. Black Ops 3, World at War, they have more custom zombie support, they allow the player to make their own maps. Also the casting characters are a lot more relatable and they're a lot more unique as well, whereas in the non-Treyarch titles you can sort of see a familiarity between each one, which doesn't really make them unique. Another thing as well, Treyarch Zombies has some of the best maps like Origins, Mob of the Dead. So non-Treyarch games like World War II, Advanced Warfare, they have a lot to compete with because they're basically going against some of the best maps like ever made. And again, like I mentioned before, it's just down to nostalgia. Like I said before, I started off on Black Ops 2 Zombies, a bit of Black Ops 1, so of course I'll be more familiar with the Treyarch titles, and that's what many people started off with. They started off with World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 before they went to non-Treyarch, so of course it's going to be a lot more familiar to them. But what do you think? Is the non-Treyarch Zombies underrated, or do you think Treyarch Zombies is still better? Do you think there'll be a non-Treyarch Zombies game that will eventually top the Treyarch games? Or will Treyarch always be on top? Do let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future COD Zombies videos. Join the Discord if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.